Hey everyone! Today we are going to be making tofu nuggets in the air fryer, or air fried tofu nuggets. So, inspired by my mapo tofu that I did a few videos ago, I wanted to make another tofu dish. So I went searching and I found some ways to make tofu more like chicken, more firm, stuff like that. So a process of doing that. So I thought, why not, let's try and make some tofu nuggets or something. See how that goes. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started preparing this tofu. And it takes at least a day in advance to do this because we need to use the freezer and freeze it out. But yeah, let's get started. So we've got some firm tofu, which we are going to prep to make it not mushy and have a bit more texture like meat for a good consistency. So to begin with, we need to take this out of the packaging, and then we're going to kind of squeeze out all the water. So let's empty out all the water from the packaging first. Okay, there's our tofu, and what we're going to do is we're just going to cut it in half just to give a bit more surface area. Yeah, we'll just leave it like this for now. Then I'm going to just use something that has some holes in it. There we go. Alright, so we've got something with holes in it. If you have a tofu press, you can get custom made, get such a thing called a tofu press. That should work well. But now, actually first we'll grab some kitchen roll paper just to lessen and soak up a little bit of the water. And we'll do the same on the top, like that. Then we will put a chopping board on top. Let's add some weight to it, so we get a nice heavy pan like that. Should we add some more? What else can we add to it that's kind of heavy? Which one's heavier? This is definitely heavier. The iron tortilla press. This, we'll just add an extra one. You want enough pressure so that it squeezes well, but not too much that it just disintegrates. So I think this should be a good amount of weight. So yeah, we are just going to press these tofu for about 30 minutes. I think you could probably do longer than that. You just want to get out as much water as possible before the next step. See you in 30 minutes. All right, let's see how it is. It's been 30 minutes of this press. I mean, it's hard to know really. I think it's definitely, yeah, I mean, it's a bit soppy. All right. I'm just going to presume that this has been pressed enough. I don't know, but it's quite firm. So we're just going to see if this is pressed enough, and we're going to chuck it into the freezer and let it freeze overnight. So I'll just chuck it into the packaging. Yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow if we pressed it hard enough and long enough. So yeah, this just goes into the freezer. So we shall see how this goes. I have a feeling I didn't press it long enough or hard enough and get as much liquid out, but we shall see. Okay, it is the following day after we've put our tofu into the freezer, so let's bring it out. Yeah, so here we have our frozen tofu, and I sliced it into 2 bits. I'm only going to be using one to start off with. So what I'm going to do is grab a bowl and then grab a colander, and we're going to thaw out this tofu. Or at least try to. See if I can separate them. So yeah, so this is another way of getting out that moisture. Oh god. Definitely a thing there, but I just don't know the best way to separate it. Maybe I should have put like something in between them. All right, well, it looks like I'm just gonna be chucking in this whole thing because I can't separate them. So if you're doing bits and pieces into the freezer, maybe have a divider or something. Maybe once it thaws out a little bit, I'll try and separate it. But yeah, so now we're just gonna thaw it out, which should get rid of a bit more moisture. And yeah, so I'm not sure how long this will take. This might take an hour, 2 hours. It is a cooler day here, so it's probably going to take a bit longer than usual. But yeah, I'll let this thaw out, maybe separate it so I can put one back in the freezer. Hopefully that's not too bad. And yeah, see what the texture's like after doing all this work to the tofu, or this pre-work to the tofu. So see you whenever it's ready. Hey everyone, this is post-production Phil. Seems like I forgot to record this section of the recording where during thawing out. And as you can see, I did separate the two tofus after a little while after it thawed out. I did leave it out to thaw, but you can also use the microwave, which is something I didn't mention before. And once it's ready to that, we're just going to do another set of a press. So another 30 minutes of whatever method you used before. And that's all that is to it for this section. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes, but we're just going to leave this to the side for now. And we're just going to make a kind of sauce-esque thing, just to season the tofu, to make it more flavorful. So yeah, it has a bit more of a better flavor than just the plain old tofu. So we get a little bowl. To this bowl, we are going to be adding in around 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Then we are going to be adding in just some flavoring. So I'm going to add in a little bit of garlic powder. Let's add some onion powder as well, and then some smoked paprika to finish it off. Let's give it a bit of a mix. That will be the basis of our flavoring. See how it goes. Kind of just riffing off a recipe and just changing it with stuff that I have. All right, let's have a look at our tofu now. Damp it down, pat it down. All right, and then we're just gonna rip into pieces. So yeah, that's not looking too bad. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. It's like little nuggety sized pieces. So it's a lot firmer. It's not as mushy as it was. And let's just mix it around. Make sure it's all nice and mixed in. Probably gonna do it gently so it doesn't disintegrate, but it's keeping together. Then to this, we are going to be adding in, we're going to be adding some cornstarch in, and we're going to do 1/4 cup. Though maybe a little bit less than that, I don't know. And this should give us like a little bit of a breading and a bit of browning available. Let's just do just below, about 1/4 cup. Chuck that in, and give this another mix. And we add a little bit more paprika into the cornstarch. So now it's a little bit bready and a bit flavory on the outside. So this should be, kind of interesting. Okay. So next step in these is to chuck into the air fryer. So this is actually my air fryer basket. I'm just gonna, chuck in here. All right. And we're gonna chuck this in the air fryer for about 15 minutes on 200 degrees Celsius on air fryer mode. See how that looks. If it starts smelling a bit smoky, then I'll pull it out before. But chuck in the air fryer for 50 minutes at 400 degrees or high setting on the air fryer. And then we can give it a taste. All right, here is what we are working with. So a little bit on the burnt side, but I think that's okay. It adds caramelization. It's got nice crispiness to it. So I guess now we taste test and see what it's like to eat it. See what the texture's like, see if it's mushy, crunchy, or what. But I'll switch camera and let's give it a taste test, shall we? All right, so here we have our first tofu nugget attempt. See how it goes. It's a bit on the warm side. It's pretty good. It's not bad at all. The outside's crunchy from the cornstarch. That is warm. The texture of the inside, it's not super stringy, but it is firm and it's not mushy at all. I'm just gonna add a little bit of salt. The garlic powder And the onion powder and all the seasonings work really well with smoked paprika. I think a little bit of sauce. All right, just gonna do a bit of Kewpie mayo. Let's do like a sriracha mayo kind of sauce, because that always hits hard. All right, a little bit of a sriracha mayo. Not bad. This is really good. So yeah, use cornstarch. I'm not sure. Maybe potato. Well, I have potato starch as well, so maybe I can try potato starch next time. The texture of the tofu is not bad. It is still on the soft side, so it's not super textury like like chicken meat. But it's similar to like chicken nuggets from like a mince maybe. This turned out not bad. But yeah, so I think to recap, I think the press, we can try and make like an actual tofu press and get a lot more of that liquid out. We can, I think freezing it, good. And then yeah, another press to get all liquid. And I think the texture on that is quite good. See if I can make it a bit more, yeah, stringy maybe, texture like that. But this is very good. Now I'm just gonna, I think it's just playing around with the method to see like what kind of textures I can bring out of the tofu. But taste wise, all the seasonings to it with the cornstarch has the texture of that crispiness and all salt and umami. Run from the soy and the garlic. Overall, this turned out amazing. A lot better than I anticipated. So yeah, if you want to have some tofu nuggets, I recommend doing a big batch of the tofu and then you can just leave it in the freezer when you want to use it, which is probably what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to buy a bunch, freeze a bunch, and then I just have it in the freezer when I want some, yeah, like better texture tofu, because not mushy tofu, because that is a problem that does happen. But yeah, that's it. Pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Until next time, peace.